we've been talking about, a little bit about death and dying, and I thought I'd read two poems along this line. The first one, hey, you'll see a little bit of a sentimental side of me. A friend of mine, a colleague where I work, is struggling with, she's a non-smoker, she's struggling with stage 4 lung cancer. And she's gone through the chemo and the vomiting, the whole thing, and she's, the scans, the tumors haven't really advanced. She goes from scan to scan, and she's on Caring Bridge. I'm familiar with that. It's like if anybody gets sick, it's a great thing to put you don't get barrage of phone calls then. You can put news on Caring Bridge. This is a poem that I put on Caring Bridge, all right? A poem for Linda. I can just see the result of the scan. The tumors have left for the Sea of Japan. They slip beneath rough waters, green and blue, where they cast no more shadows over you, or threaten the health of old Captain Nemo because they've been so weakened by the chemo. In the short version of this poem in Spanish, the tumors don't travel, they simply vanish. But whatever the style or the language, be the form pure or blended like a sausage, the rhymes neat and plain or painfully strained, the metaphors true or make you say, phoo, my message shines through. Like all who post here, I yearn for the scan to say you're all clear to walk and work and eat with your family, return to good health and harmony. And no matter what turn the fates may bring, may they never abridge your will to sing. And now here's the contrasting poem from and Matt kind of hearkened. This is Synchronicity and Metonymy in 1977. Part 1, Long Island. Seated at the blue Steinway upright, whose action he has rebuilt, my father plays Clementi's Sonatina in G major, opus 26, number 5, whose rondo finale was down-tempoed into 60s hit groovy kind of love. For years, my father has struggled with Clementi, but today his age-spotted hands move with precision, grace, and confidence. He feels relief and accomplishment, like one who has pushed on a tire wrench until the lug nut finally gives. The rondo finished, he pushes back the piano bench, stands up and heads for the bedroom, the one air-conditioned room in the small Long Island ranch house, cooled with the comfort of my mother, recently diagnosed with angina. He opens the door. Hey, Alice, he beams. I finally got that Clementi down. My mother is still in bed. Her head is slumped forward on her chest like a broken doll's. Her mystery novel and her glasses lie next to her lap. Did she fall asleep reading? Alice, he says. Alice. No answer. He brushes her neck. No response. He feels for a pulse. None. Her skin is already cool to the touch. Time, emotion, and action freeze. The air conditioner kicks in to its window buzzing cooling cycle. My father picks up the phone and dials his niece. Hello, Joan? This is Frank. Alice died here at home. What do I do now? Part 2, Chicago. I hate my job. Counselor for the Illinois State Employment Service. A castle made of paper, procedure, and the mortar of human misery. If I were good at what I do, I'd find myself a new job. But I love my commute on temperate days. 15 miles of 10-speed cycling freedom from Rogers Park to 21st Street. Most miles on the bike path along Lake Michigan. At Bryn Mawr Beach, this morning's haze can't hide an expanse of dancing jewels on the sunlit lake. The path slips beneath my wheels fluidly as last night's rain. The warm air rushes over me like a benediction. I glance over my shoulder. A young woman pedaling with fury to catch up to me. She fades on the straightaways, but hits the curves at circus velocity and gains ground fast. The distance between us yo-yos until I slow down for a concrete right-angle turn, while she zooms across grass and through a puddle, shooting a spout of water from her rear tire onto her back. Next straightaway I pass her, steal a glance. Early 20s maybe, wavy shoulder-length hair, probably pretty, though the face beneath her black helmet is chiseled into harsh lines by anger and resolve. Not a word is spoken. Like horses racing neck and neck, we reach the section of the path across from Buckingham Fountain. From here to McCormick Place, it's all straight away, baby. I slide my hands to the bottom of the U-shaped handlebars, pull up hard with my forearms, push down harder with my legs. The trees to my left fly by. How fast am I going? Fast enough to never see my manic competitor again. My day at the office humdrums into afternoon. I look through smoke-filled air toward the east window, blue sky and the promise of a ride home. A phone rings behind me. Hello? The alto voice of Latrice Bynum, my boss. A firm, melodious, supportive voice. She's a single mom. One of her kids usually calls around this time. Bob, she says, pick up on 68. Hello, Bob? My father? I've got some bad news. Your mother died today. Part 3.
Sorry.
That's all right. The island. My father's calls had been made. 9/11, the church, the funeral home, the children, the sisters-in-law, piano tuning cancellations, the funeral home again, after he spotted my mother's blue dress hanging on the bedroom door. Yeah, she wanted to be buried in it. I'll bring it by tomorrow. He wanders through the house like a lost dog, turns on the TV, but the TV can't fill in the hollows and take shape in every room. He makes my mother's bed carefully, leaves his own twin bed unmade. He sees my mother's glasses on the dresser, where he put them, with the temples extended. All the hollows gather at the lenses, and he does something I have never seen him do. He weeps. Now that was a long poem, so I'm going to end this with 2 short poems, all right? Severe case of autism, that's A-W-E-tism. Okay? To her, everything was awesome. You must learn to make distinctions, I said with avuncular wisdom. A thunderclap is awesome, a fart is not. Awesome, she replied. And a 1-letter poem. The world's shortest, non-conceited poem. You.
Oh.
You know, I don't think that was enough applause. Give it up one more time for